Infinite love, beautiful people, and welcome back to a new video. Today, let us inquire how to develop the skill of observation. Why do you need and how to observe free from your own conclusions, free from your own knowledge, and to see that what really is. Let us dive deep in this art of looking. As always, in every video that we do, we have to be free to do inquiry. We have to be ready to question, not to accept, and not to discard. So when we are ready to do that, we can start developing the skill of observation. Observing. So what does it mean to observe? What does it mean to develop this skill? It means to be free to look, not just with your eyes, not with your senses, but also include this all, but with your whole mind, with the mind and beyond the mind. And everything has to be quiet and in perfect synchronization to observe. And when we say something like this, that seems tremendously complicated, but it isn't. It's actually one of the simplest things to do in your life, and you have done it already thousands of times, but you just wasn't aware that you are doing. So what have you done in this moment? So every time when you observe or look or listen or feel something that's very interesting for you, like you seeing the beautiful mountain or the beautiful sky or the beautiful person, beautiful woman, beautiful man, suddenly your whole mind stops and becomes quiet. There is no you, there is no center, there is only observation of that what you are observing. This is the state of observation. There is no commenting inside your head, there is no comparing in your head. For the brief moment, for a few seconds, you are just completely observing. And you are doing it daily, sometimes by listening your favorite music, sometimes by just being aware that you exist. Sometimes it comes when you least expect. But what is the main problem that stops all of this and returns you back to a place of thinking? It is our mind that is constantly restless, that we are constantly thinking. All of this happens because our brain has collected tremendous amounts of knowledge, and all of this knowledge is stored inside of our brain, and this knowledge we use to predict what will happen tomorrow. Because of that, we are constantly thinking. Bear in mind, thinking has its own use in our life. That is in scientific world, that is when you are doing a job, when you need to prepare a plan, and it is all right to think. Don't judge, don't separate yourself from anything. But you have to know that constantly thinking about anyone or anything creates images. And these images that you have about person, about plant, about animal, about world are preventing you to see and observe. So what do I mean that the picture prevents you to observe? Let's take, for example, a beautiful flower. You are walking down the meadow and you see a beautiful red flower. So from a distance it has taken your attention and you observe it and you do not think. You just see the beautiful flower. It's so beautiful. The moment you say, ah, it's a rose, the observation has come to an end. Why did that happen? Because in a moment when you have completely observed, you have given your total attention, there was not you the one who is observing, there was only observation and the flower. The distance between you and the flower has disappeared, and there was only observation of that what is. The moment you snap out of it, your brain starts to search, it starts to categorize. It remembers the past. Ah, it's a flower. It's a rose flower. The moment you have categorized it, it has stopped to be uninteresting. You have withdrawn your attention. And the flower loses all of its beauty just because you have categorized it. The categorization is very important also, and it is our mechanism to survive in this world, because you have to know and see that a snake is dangerous or a lion can eat you. But in the world that we are living now, most of the time there is no danger, and we are still doing categorization of everything. We are constantly, maniacally categorizing everything. We have to know everything. We have to know that that tree is oak. You have to know which sort of is that dog. You have to know everything. And the knowledge is always limited. What do I mean by that the knowledge is limited? For example, take the most beautiful picture in this world, let's say Mona Lisa, and observe the picture. When you observe it completely, you will see immense colors, beautiful drawing, paints, how they are used, the portrait of a woman. You don't know if the woman is smiling or not. You will see the hair, how it's falling down the shoulder. You will see the clothes. You will see so many details. But the brain or the mind can describe it in one sentence. It's a picture of a woman that you don't know is she smiling or not. That's it. That is why the knowledge is limited, because it takes the whole broad picture and puts it small in a few words. And these few words are not the picture. These few words that you say to a rose that you saw in a field is not the rose. So you are preventing yourself to observe, to freely see that what it is, because you are categorizing and creating an image about everything. So next time when you walk down the meadow or in a mountain or walking by the river or walking through your city, do not categorize anything. Observe it like you first time see it in your life. Don't comment on it. Don't try to categorize it. If you have walked your street for thousands of times, try walking to the street like you have seen it, like you are doing it for the first time in your life. Like this is the first day of your life in this street, and you are walking down the street and you observe. See how many new things you will see. Everything will seem so differently because it is differently. Everything constantly changes. Nothing is the same. But our brain just narrows everything down and says, I know this. I saw this so many times. It is the same street. I don't have to even look at it. I will take my phone and see what's there interesting. So please observe for yourself. Try this. This is not a technique. This is not a teaching. This is something for you to test for yourself. This is a way of living. Different way of living. Because the whole human mankind is going in one direction. The direction of a thought. But suddenly you stop and see it's a false one. And then you go in another direction. You start to be present. Your mind becomes quiet and you see that what really is. Not the illusion inside of your head, not the image in your head, but that what actually is. And that what actually is so immense, so beautiful, so full of love and compassion that you cannot describe it. Thank you for inquiring with me, and until next video, infinite love.